This lighting is really good. Okay, let's go ahead and get this discussion started. Okay. Hi, my name is Morgan Wallace, and I'll be talking to you about the value of trust. First off, let's just talk about what trust is. To me, trust is completely relying on someone. Well, what does completely relying on someone means? Well, completely, let's just break the definition down. Completely means wholeheartedly. You know, other people got these long definitions. I'm not doing that. I'm going to tell you what completely means to me. Completely means wholeheartedly. That means with every inch of your body, from your head to your toes, you rely on someone. You know, rely to me, this is Morgan Wallace's idea of what rely is. Rely is, without no doubt in my mind, I know you will come through when I need you. When I'm in a need of need, you're there to help me. You're there for me, regardless if I need you there or not. You're there for me. That could be emotionally, that could be physically, that could be mentally. You're just there for me, and I rely on you. We rely on people every day. We rely on our parents. We rely on teachers. Rely on our pastors at church. We rely on our doctors. We rely on our friends. We trust all these different people because we've built our trust with them. You know, for one, with our parents, we really trust. We trust our parents to provide for us. We trust our parents to go to work and make money, to make sure our lights are on in the house, to make sure we have running hot water, to have food on the table, clothes on our backs. We rely or we trust our parents completely to provide for us. Simple. Period. Point blank. Nothing else to discuss. We rely on our parents. We rely on our teachers. We rely on our teachers to provide us with the information we need in order to gain a great education. Um, for one, I know that trust can be a very rocky type of subject. Not many people talk about trust. Well, actually, 2018, we do talk about trust a lot. And it's in a very negative way. Trust to me, it shouldn't be negative at all. It should be a quite beautiful thing, actually. Because when we trust in someone, when we have complete trust in someone, we're vulnerable to them. You know, we're vulnerable to our parents. We're vulnerable to our doctors, to teachers. We're vulnerable with our parents, with our emotions, with how we feel, the way we think, what we do. We completely rely on them. We completely express ourselves to them, and we trust that they will adjust accordingly or they will help us through whatever situation we're in. With teachers, we trust them to, um, with our emotions and things like that, we trust them to with our education, period. Like, if I wanted to get into a good college, I have to have a good teacher to teach me, to help me understand, to work with me, to make sure I am obtaining the information I need. I'm trusting my teacher to do this. We trust our doctors. When we're sick, we don't know what's wrong with us. That's why we're going to the doctor. We're asking the doctor for his or her opinion to help us. We're relying on them to make sure that we can do what we can do to make ourselves healthy. But like I said, in 2018, trust is talked in a very negative way. You hear, oh, I have trust issues. Oh, I can't trust anyone. Everyone just hurts me. Everyone just lets me down. Well, it's not necessarily not true because there's many ways to break trust. But first, let's just talk about what like how do we even obtain trust? How do we even get trust? Well, one, it starts with honesty. And first, we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to know who we are as a person. I know for a person, I am kind, I'm smart, I'm very funny, I'm pretty, I'm down to earth, and I'm helpful. I know this is who I am as a person. Because I know who I am as a person, I can become vulnerable to someone else and tell them, hey, this is who I am as a person. This is Morgan Wallace. This is who I am. And because I know who I am, also know not many people will accept me for who I am. But I have to know that there's someone out there who will accept me, who will like that, you know, I flip my hair a lot, or that I I laugh when I'm nervous, or I smile, or I giggle, or I'm really just goofy. There's someone out there who will accept that for who I am. So we always have to be honest with ourselves. We have to know who we are as a person, so that way another person can know who we truly are. That's us being honest. If I'm honest that, sometimes I can catch an attitude for no reason. That is me being completely honest with myself and knowing what I need to work on personally. We also have to be honest with each other. Let's just first talk about how we can be honest with our parents. We can be honest with our parents by simply talking to them. I know it's like really weird and awkward, but like when we think about it, our parents were once our age too. I personally feel they were more bad than us. Like the stories my mom told me of her and her siblings fighting people after church, and my dad and his friends, them sneaking out the house, like they make me just look like an angel. I'm a good girl. So I feel that we can be honest with our parents by simply just talking. Let's just talk about our issues, what the problem is, like how can we fix it. This is us being honest with our parents. Let's talk about being honest with friends. I think that's where a lot of the negative connotation comes from. It's from friends and relationships, which I totally understand, but guess what? We're all humans, we make mistakes. With our friends, we tend to lie for no reason. Or it's not even what we say, it's how we say it. We can be totally honest with our friends, but it's how we say it. Because we also, with honesty, it can hurt people's feelings. It can. So you have to be mindful of how you say things. Not what you say, it's how you say them. If my friend came up to me and was like, oh, Morgan, like, how does my hair look? And I know it looks a mess. I'm not just gonna be like, oh girl, you look a hot mess. Like you need to fix that thing. Like I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, hey, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look terrible. But how about this? How about we change it? Let's do this instead. Let me help you. That is a way of us being honest by honestly telling them, but in a nice way. It's all about being nice. I feel that some people just don't know how to be kind and nice to each other, which is why honesty can be, I don't really want to be honest with you, but I'm going to be honest with you. But with our friends, we definitely need to be honest with them. We have to tell them, like, this is what's up. I know me personally, I don't like being left in the dark. That's with anyone. That's with my teachers. That's with my family. That's with my friends. I don't like not knowing what's going on. If everyone else know and I don't know, kind of feeling some type of way. Like, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to trust that you're going to always be honest with me, or you're going to always keep it 100. So that's one way to build trust, with honesty. And communication. Communication is also another way to build trust. We have to know the person. We have to know what to say, which is why I say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You got to know what to say. You got to know how to say it. You got to communicate in a nice manner. Like, when I trust someone, when I go to the doctor and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and take doctors forever to come out. I'm sitting there waiting just for a checkup or whatever, and the doctor comes in and he's just a hot mess. His little lab coat is dirty. He's not prepared. His paperwork is not prepared. He hasn't taken no vital signs. He hasn't done anything. He's just walking in the door, and he's late To me, I'm not going to trust him because you're supposed to come in with a certain manner. You have to talk to me a certain way. You're smacking on your gum. You're like, so what brings you in today? No, sir. No, ma'am. No, thank you. I don't think this is gonna work. I'm sorry, it's not gonna work. You have to know what to say and how to say things. You have to be able to communicate with people. I don't want you communicating with me as if I'm dumbfounded. Don't talk to me less than what you would talk to anyone else. Just because I think many people confuse age difference is also a key in communicating with people. I feel as though some teachers talk to us as if we're kids. I get it. We're kids, kids supposedly. In a way, we're kids, but at the same time, we're not gonna be kids for long. You know, I'm 16. I'm about to turn 17 in January. Capricorn, and so after I turn 17, I'm gonna turn 18. That is in like a year or two, like 2 years. I'm gonna be an adult. I'm gonna be considered a young adult. You know, the police will charge me as an adult. I would go to clubs. I would do all adult things. So I think teachers sometimes don't communicate with us as if we're adults. I want you to talk to me like I'm an adult. You don't talk to other adults. You don't talk to your coworkers in that way. So talk to me like the same way you talk to them. That's why I'm saying it's age can also play a part in communicating. You know, my doctor sometimes can talk to me like I don't know what's going on. I know some medical terms. I know what some things are. Like, I know. So you don't have to talk to me in that way. And if I don't know, just explain it to me. I feel, you know, in 2018, we all are very not mindful of how educated someone is or how mature someone is for their age. We tend to just go based off what they look like, which is terribly wrong. So communication is a great key in building trust. We have to communicate with someone so we can have an understanding, we can have a bond, we can know, okay, well, you don't like me saying this, so I'm going to respect that you don't like this. And that's also going to build trust. When I'm communicating with my parents, I don't like when they yell at me, because when you yell at me, I'm not listening. Like, I tune you out. So when my parents talk to me, they talk to me calmly, but firmly, of course. And we actually discuss it. That is where you caught my attention. I'm trusting you now because you came to me with respect. First, communicated. You communicated with me what I did wrong and how I could fix it. And you did it in a timely manner. You did it in a great manner. You didn't come in there yelling, blah, blah, blah. You didn't do all that extraness. You came in there with communication skills. Like, you knew how to communicate with me. Like you should. And then 2, you were honest with me. You were honest with me how you felt about what I did or what I said. And then 3, we built trust. I trusted you enough to say, hey, Mom, sorry, won't do it again. So it's all a building up to trust. Trust takes time. It's not something you just instantly gain. For me, I'm the type of person, look, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to trust you till you give me a reason not to trust you. So now that we've talked a little bit about how to build trust, and trust, it takes time. You know, trust comes for different people, for different relationships. My trust with my teacher is not the same with my friend. My trust with my parents is not the same with my friend. It's my teacher and my parents. It's our relationship is not the same. I'm not going to talk to my parents the same way I talk to my teacher. So, in relationships, also play a key in trust. We have to in communication. So once you figure out this is our relationship, this is how we communicate with each other, we're both honest with each other, you then build trust. Trust, it takes time. Like I said, like, you have to be patient with each other. You have to take your time to really fully understand and comprehend each other so you can build trust, so that person can feel comfortable enough to open up to you and become vulnerable to you. Let's talk about how we break trust. The number one way is lying. That is the biggest thing. I do not like being lied to. I don't think anyone wants to be lied to. Like, we all want someone to tell us just what it is. I wouldn't want my doctor lying to me saying, oh, you just have a cold, when really I got pneumonia. Like, I don't know. I want you to be honest with me. I want you to not lie to me, which is why I say honesty is a big key, and trust, because one lie can ruin a bond, a relationship, can ruin a trust. Like for me, personal example, I was in a relationship with someone for a very long time, and I trusted him. Completely. I relied on him. If I ever need anything, he'll be there. I didn't go through his phone, but because that's an invasion of privacy, and that's me not trusting him, so I didn't do that. But he accidentally sent me a picture of him in a conversation with a female, and I asked him about it, and he lied to me. Boom, right then and there. Let's break it down of this, what the situation was. When he accidentally sent something to me being his girlfriend, I had to communicate with him. Hey, you sent me this. Did you mean to send me this? No, I didn't mean to send you this. Oh, okay, well, you sent it to me. Well, now let's talk about it. Like, so I wasn't coming at him in a very, what's the word assertive? No, not assertive. Aggressive. I wasn't coming at him aggressively. I came with him respectfully, because I know he doesn't like when people yell at him. He's just like me. We don't like yelling. We don't like confrontations. So I came at him in a very respectful way. And once I came at him, like my communication skills were okay, I expressed to him how I felt. I was honest with him. I was like, I really don't like you and this girl's conversation. I don't like what you're talking about. And he did apologize, and we did work things out. But when he first answered the question, he lied to me. He was just like, oh no, like, that's nothing, you're tripping. Like, he tried to make me feel like I was crazy. I'm like, I'm not crazy. Like, I know what I'm saying. Like, I know what you're talking about. Like, I don't like it. And so when he started doing that, I did lose a little trust in him. I was just like, you're being sneaky. You're lying to me. I don't like that. And I don't like that. So now, not only have you made our trust a little rocky, but you've also made me realize, like, you don't respect me as your girlfriend. So we talked it out. Like I said, we talked it out, and we fixed things. Everything was good. But my trust in him was definitely questionable. I questioned him a lot after that. I would be like, where are you going? Who you with? Who you texting? What are you doing? Like, where's your mom? Where's your dad? Where you at? Send your location. Like, I wasn't like crazy. Like, I wasn't like crazy. I was just asking him. I wasn't like, tell me where you are. Like, it was just like, what you doing? Like, just like, what you doing? But that is my personal example of how our trust was, like, not ruined. I wouldn't say it was ruined, because I still trusted him. It was just, he gave me a reason to start questioning him. I've never questioned him before. I'm not the type of person, like I said, I'm always going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm always going to think you're being honest with me until you prove to me you're not being honest with me. So we can break trust with people that you would never imagine breaking trust with. You can break trust with your parents. I know in many cases, some children or some teenagers have not grown up with a dad. And I know that I completely trust my dad. So I can't even imagine what it's like growing up without one. Um, I've talked to a few friends to ask them, on their experience without a dad. And many of them do tell me they have relationship problems. And relationship problems are a reflection of our parents' relationships. Not many people know this, but it is. I read it online. But it's a reflection of our parents' relationships. So when we grow up without a dad, without that male figure in our lives, we kind of don't know how to trust. And especially if our mom, or vice versa, if we don't have a mother, whoever is our guardian is completely bashing this person all the time. Like, he don't do nothing. He's a bum. He don't do nothing. He don't work. He don't got a job. Blah, blah, blah. Like, when they're constantly putting the other person that's very valuable in your life down, you tend to feel that way. You tend to be like, well, Dad, you cheated on Mom. You're not, I don't trust you. How I know you won't leave me, or you've already left me and Mom, or certain different situations for certain different families. These are very, very important subjects that many people need to talk about. So with trust, it's broken, but it also can be rebuilt. But that also takes time. Back to me and the guy that I dated. After that situation, we had to take time. He had to prove to me that I can trust him again. And it wasn't easy, especially with us females, we're very emotional. But he made it work. He figured it out, and I trusted him again. But it definitely took time, and it took patience. So what I hope that you learned from this is, why do we need trust? Let's just go back, summarize what's going on. What is trust? Trust is completely relying on someone. That means wholeheartedly, without a doubt in your mind, this person will be there for you. Why is this such a value? Why do we need to trust? We need to trust so we can feel connected. We need to trust so that we need to trust so that we can be vulnerable. We can open up to people. We can connect. We can branch out. When we trust, we're being vulnerable to someone. And then when we're vulnerable to someone, they're vulnerable to us. And in that way, we build a relationship. How do we build trust? We build trust through communication, honesty, and self-love. For one, we have to love ourselves first, no matter what. We have to know who we are. We have to trust ourselves. We have to trust ourselves. We have to trust ourselves to make the right decisions. We have to trust ourselves to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. And the downfall of trust can also be, it can be broken by lying. Lying is a big deal, and we should really just try to be honest with people. So I really hope you learned something about trust and the different perspectives and different viewpoints on trust. This is all my opinion on the situation of trust, and I would love to hear other people's opinions on trust, especially with some of the things I said. Just leave a comment or something. I don't know. Just let me know how you feel. Send me a text or Snapchat me or whatever the case may be, and just let's talk about it. I feel we don't really talk about things that needs to be talked about, and I would like to talk about trust and other things. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.